Has it always been this way?
Well, even from the beginning, men hated Jesus. Even though he did nothing but love them and teach them and heal them, they nailed him to a cross. They thought they had killed him, but they only set him free to live in the hearts of people like you and me who believe in him. Then came the apostles, and most of them were killed for telling other people about Jesus. But by that time, it was too late. There were hundreds of people who believed in Jesus. So they tortured them and killed them, and they even left their bodies to rot as an example to other people. But the church kept right on growing, watered by the blood of these precious saints.
But Dad, did they want to die?
No, they didn't want to die. I mean, many of them had children just like you that they had to leave behind, but they were forced to make a choice. I mean, they could choose to live this one life here on earth and reject Jesus and be damned, or they could choose to believe in the words of Jesus and live forever.
I think I understand.
Here, maybe this will help you understand.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kwejo Niboy. I am a dental surgeon in the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and most importantly, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. While I was in school, I faced some challenges with Sabbath exams. My very first encounter with Sabbath exams was when I was in senior high during Out of Deck, and I listened to God. I did what I had been taught from infancy. God was faithful. Eventually, I was part of the 15 regular students who were who were admitted to read dental surgery in the University of Ghana that year. Now, while in the University of Ghana, so many of my first year exams were scheduled on Sabbath. For some, I would not write at all. For some, I would write just the parts which were not on Sabbath, like the IAs, the midterms, the class tests, if you may. And I failed most of them. For some, God glorified himself. Without me writing anything, I could make A's. Now, eventually, it took me 5 years to finish all the papers that I had to write, all the Sabbath papers, the backlog of Sabbath papers I had to write. And God took me through. Final exam, he did so amazing. I emerged top of my class, and now I'm a dental surgeon. Now this is what I have to say. God has been with us, and we know he's going to be with you. We have been praying for you. You are not alone. We know what you are going through. We have experienced it. We have felt it. We know it's a terrible feeling. But we know the God who took us through will also take you through. You are not alone. You'll be fine. God is faithful.
I'm excited to be able to reach out to you wherever you are, even in this pandemic, as we worship the Lord together. My name is Ernestina Obuboche. I'm currently a student of the Ghana School of Law. When I was growing up as a child, I loved the Mission Spotlight section of the Adult Sabbath School Guide. I could read it every time, morning, afternoon, evening. I loved the personal experiences of students who had Sabbath exam issues, and by the grace of God, things work out perfectly well for them. Some of them didn't have it as smooth as we expect, but by God's grace, they were able to trust in the Lord, and they saw miracles happen in their life. And I was convinced and convicted that the Lord would want me to honor him and glorify him even in my education. So I decided not to write Sabbath exams or learn on the Saturday, even if the whole world would want to do whatever they want to do on the Sabbath day. In senior high school, I had teachers who fixed classes on Saturday and said it was compulsory, so we all had to come. But then I missed it. I did extra work on my own after the Sabbath and trusted the Lord. By God's grace, my grades came and I did better than I even expected to do. Then I came to the university. I thought everything would be over in the university, and then I had SABBATH exam right there in level 100. I was troubled. I didn't know what to do. But then I know that by my principles and the conviction that I have had, the Lord expects me to honor Him and glorify Him, even in my education. So I decided not to write. Some of the papers, you'd have to write it a year after everybody has taken it. Because of this, I couldn't get to graduate with my friends the same year that I was supposed to graduate. But thankfully, I had this peace of mind. My conscience was free, my heart was free, and I had peace in the Lord. So some people wonder, you had all the D's, but you still have peace. You didn't graduate, you still have peace. Yes, because the Lord says that perfect peace have they who put their trust in the Lord. I know you are going through a lot at this time, but I want you to know that you can trust God. God can be trusted. He is going to come through for you in ways you never expected, because God is faithful.
Hi, my name is Grace, and I'm glad to be sharing with you the tidbit of the whole Sabbath experience journey. It may be your first time, it may be something you've already been going through, and I'm sure somehow you're heartbroken, you're anxious, you're in fear about this whole how are you going to go through the WASI exam? What does the future look like? Is this the end of the road for you? What are family and friends saying, and the confrontations you are getting, especially in making the choice not to write exams on Sabbath? Yeah, it comes with a whole lot of things. But in all of these, God is faithful, and that's the kind of God I want to draw your focus on today. That He's concerned about your academics. He had a greater plan of why you were in school, and surely He's not going to leave you sidelined and just this brief situation. Yeah, it may not be Sabbath exam today, it may be something else tomorrow, but God is still faithful and going to be faithful. And Sabbath exams is just a bit of the iceberg of what shapes our experience with God, and to come to understand truly and fully who God really is to us and what we mean to Him, so we can share with others as well. And I want you to take inspiration from the story of Abraham. Unlike the Hebrew boys, he had not been brought up in any traditions of being a Jew or something. He had an idea of who God is. We know where he was coming from and why God chose to identify with him. And Abraham, more importantly, making a choice to identify himself with God. That's what I want us to focus on, that God gives us equal playgrounds and for us to exhibit our faith in Him in the test process, just like you did with the Hebrew boys. They could have also made a contrary choice to what we know, and equally with the story of Abraham made his choice, and we know what was the outcome of it. He's the father of all nations today. All of us countries are descendants to him, and most of all, he's the greatest man of faith we can ever take inspiration from. And that is what I want you to hold on to today. That doesn't matter about where you find yourself, the circumstances surrounding your Adventist faith, and what you are struggling with, even in the midst of the Sabbath exam crisis and all the challenges and all the voices in your head. The most important thing is, I pray that the story encourages you to have a step of faith in God. That's as tiny as it is. And trust me, God never disappoints, as you would hear from the stories of my friends. He never would, He never has, and He's never going to. Even when we are not faithful, God is faithful. How much more when we take the slightest step of faith? God loves you so much. God is faithful. And I know you can also be. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Julian, and a couple of years ago I was faced with one of the most difficult choices of my young life: what to do with Sabbath papers. I remember feeling confused, I remember feeling angry, and a host of other emotions. And if you are in that position today, I think I would have a lot to say to you, but the best that I could tell you right now is to remember Isaiah chapter 26 verse 3. You will keep him in perfect peace, he whose mind is stable on you, because he trusts in you. Before you make this decision, I would entreat you that go on your knees in prayer. this is the time to seek the face of the Lord. This is the time to seek the counsel of the Lord. Once you have done that, then I'm sure that He who's paid the price for your salvation will show you the way to go. Thank you.